Welcome. Consider me your guide through this unmarked landscape, the one that lives inside you. We're about to take a journey into the very architecture of your inner mind. It's a place of shadows and of light, and it's guarded by some truly ancient forces. So let's just start right there with a question for you. What is it that stands sentinel at the thresholds of your own transformation? What forces have you yourself put there to keep the chaos of the world from flooding in? This is really the core question of our journey today. You can think of every mind as a kind of temple, but sometimes an event, the source material calls it an Anstoß, which is like a metaphysical obstacle or a trauma. It fractures the temple walls. And right there, at those broken places, two powerful ancient forces show up to stand guard, the Gorgons and the goddess Hecate.
Okay, so first things first, we need to get our bearings in this inner world. This is the unmarked landscape that you have to learn to navigate. I want you to imagine yourself, right now, standing at the entrance to this huge, deep, and totally lightless theater. This is the stage of your inner self. And your personal quest, your journey as a spiritual traveler, well, it begins at this very moment.
All right, let's explore the first path you're likely to come across, the one watched over by the three Gorgon sisters. This is the path of the stone-cold gaze. The power the Gorgon wields is something called absolute stasis. The best way to think of it is as a protective freeze response. When reality just becomes too much, too crushing to bear, the soul hits the emergency brake. It's a way to stop everything, to hold it all perfectly still. Now, what's really fascinating about this quote is how it frames this state. It's a protective cage of order. It absolutely shields you, no doubt about it. It keeps that overwhelming weight of reality from totally shattering you. But did you catch that word? Cage. And this slide right here brilliantly illustrates the fundamental trade-off. The benefit of the Gorgon's gaze? Survival. You make it through the unthinkable. But the cost? The cost is petrification. You get frozen in what the source calls a loop of silent frozen grief, totally unable to move forward. So this power operates under a principle called the law of final entropy. Essentially, it acts as a terminal cap, a hard stop on your soul's development. It enforces these rigid, unyielding boundaries, creating a monument to the pain that broke you, a silent record of everything you had to endure. But that is not the only path. At the most terrifying crossroads of the deep, you'll find a different guide, someone holding a very different kind of power. This is the path illuminated by Hecate's guiding torch. You see, Hecate offers something called logos magic. This isn't a defensive freeze at all. It's the power of active insight. It is the ability, the skill of looking directly into the darkness, of negotiating with it, of understanding it, without being completely swallowed by what you find there. So the most important point is the stark difference in approach. The Gorgons demand your total surrender to being turned to stone. It's a passive state. Hecate, on the other hand, she demands your active engagement. She requires you to participate in your own journey through the underworld. Her title in the source material says it all, the triple one who leads. You see, unlike the Gorgons, who are the three who warn, Hecate's job isn't to stop you at the boundary. Her job is to guide you through it. And her torches, they aren't just for seeing in the dark. No, they burn with this transformative, purifying energy. Their light shows you the path back toward wholeness, and it allows you to reclaim your true self, your absolute I, from the middle of all that overwhelming stuff that is not you. So every traveler in this inner landscape, sooner or later, faces this choice in the deep. It's a choice between two very, very different ways of dealing with the fractures in our own temple walls. Let's just break it down side by side. The Gorgon symbol is the stone mask. Hecate's is the burning torch. The Gorgon's function is to protect you by freezing you in place. Hecate's is to guide you by lighting the way. The Gorgon keeps your focus on past pain and how final it feels, while Hecate encourages a vision for the present and a path for growth. The result? Well, one leaves you as a record of sacrifice, and the other puts you on a path to wholeness. This quote just perfectly captures the essence of it all. This is the decision that stands before you. The paralyzing power of your own history, or the wide-eyed, active vision of this present moment. Now, you might be thinking, the goal is to just choose the torch and ditch the mask. But the true path, the real path to wholeness, it's actually a little more nuanced than that. It's about learning to walk with both light and stone.
And here lies the deepest wisdom of this journey. The goal isn't to shatter that stone mask, because to do that would be to deny your own history, what got you here. Instead, you have to learn to carry the mask, to honor its protective purpose, while still following the light of the torch toward your own growth. And this brings us to the practical stuff. How do you actually do this? Well, here are 3 daily habits you can try. Number 1, honor the mask. Acknowledge a protective wall you've built and genuinely thank it for keeping you safe. 2, light the torch. Spend just 3 minutes observing your own thoughts without any judgment. Just let them be seen. And 3, take a step. Identify one tiny action that moves you forward, toward growth, even if it feels a little uncertain. This really gives us a final, compassionate way to look at our own defenses. To be whole is to finally understand that the monster, that Gorgon mask you created to protect yourself, it was never a flaw. It was simply the record of what you had to sacrifice in order to survive. It's a monument to your own endurance. And so we end right back where we started, but with a new understanding. You've met the guardians that stand at the edges of your mind. You know the path of stasis and the path of light. The only question left is, where will you guide yourself next?